This week on the 77% Street Debate.
Our women, they have the mentality that aside the love, you have to take control of most of the spendings in the house.
I'm looking for someone who can, cater for the basic needs in a home.
Are we looking for a partnership or we are looking for pampering?
The career woman has defined marriage in a nice way. They still want the men to take their traditional responsibility, put the money there, come and do my work for me, come and do babysitting.
Marriage is not social media reels. You will not wake up and he will come and stand on your bed and ask you, baby, what are you eating?
Hello and welcome to the 77% Street Debate. My name is Edith Kimani and this week we are in Kumasi in Ghana and we're outside this beautiful bridal store, and that's because today we're talking about marriage. Now, in the past, it used to be the case that when people get married, they would accumulate wealth. But these days, what we're hearing is that modern Ghanaians are choosing to wait longer to get married because it's simply too expensive. So today we're asking, marry early and build your wealth, or wait until you're completely financially stable to commit full time? And I want to start with you, Maryam, because, for men, I think money is always top of mind. But for you, before you got married, was money a consideration at all?
Before we got married, I had to know whether he's responsible and then he has a job that he can take care of me before I agreed that we should get married. So financial responsibility, yes, I took that into consideration.
What about for you? Did you need to be financially secure before you committed to become married?
No, I don't have anything doing. It's my husband that is taking care of me 100%. The husband is working and is able to provide the basic needs. You are okay to go. I didn't have to consider whether I am working and I can take care of myself before I got married. No.
Yeah. So if, say, Ibrahim didn't have a job, would you have married him?
No.
Oh, Ibrahim. Lucky for you, you had a job. But was finances a huge consideration for you?
For me personally, no. As far as you are able to take care of yourself and the basic needs, I think you are good to go.
But it's interesting here because Maryam is saying that for her it was a really important thing, but for you, not so much. So what was the value for you? What, as far as the things that were important before you got married, what was at the top?
So for me, the first is character. The second is that we all agree with each other. And then the third is we are aligned with our goals, our character and faith.
So Musiliya, I want to come to you for a second because you actually were married. So to what extent was wealth a factor of consideration before you decided to take the vow?
You have to be financially stable because if unexpected happens to the man, what will you do? Will you ask for help outside? Or what are you going to do? You have to come in and support the marriage to be able to become successful, not you running away because unexpected came.
Yeah. So Maryam was saying that for her as a woman, it's not so important for her to have money. Was it important for you?
It's very, very important.
Okay. I'm seeing Benjamin here nodding.
I wouldn't want to amass wealth before getting to know her. Get something doing, get some money for contingencies. Yeah.
So how much money? Do you have a figure in your head where you say, if I have X amount of dollars, then I can walk down the aisle?
Okay, if money were to be put in quarters, I would want to have 2/4 before going in for something like that.
Okay, let me hear from Maureen here because you are also single and actually she's searching, so get into her DMs. So what are you searching for? Are you looking for the same considerations here, somebody who's financially stable?
In as much as I look forward to getting a husband who is financially stable and doing something, I also have to do something myself because I'm going into the marriage as a helper. I'm going in there to help, not someone idle just going to be there.
Yeah. So if somebody was to find you in your DMs, but at the moment maybe they're still looking for an income, perhaps say an informal trade, would that be somebody that you would give a chance?
It depends on how the person handles issue. Imagine having a husband who beats you or a husband who has issues with you but wouldn't want to address it in the house, go out and be looking for advice from friends. That wouldn't be someone I would want to date.
Okay, so we'll come back to that issue of character in just a short while. I want to hear from Teresa because like Musiliya here, you also were married and you got divorced. At that time, was money a consideration?
At that time, no. I didn't consider money. I just went into it because I felt I was ready for marriage.
At what point did you realize maybe money is actually a factor in this marriage?
1 month after the marriage, my husband lost his job. So we were there. We just have to go home, call my mom to just support me. So at that moment, I felt I could have, worked or get something doing before entering into the marriage.
Yeah. Now, when we were speaking earlier, you told me something which I found really interesting, that you didn't even have a bank account when you went into the marriage. So was it the assumption that your husband would take care of your needs?
I wasn't working, so I thought he was going to support me.
Okay, so Papa, I want to come to you because you are a marriage counselor, but you also happen to be a pastor. So are you hearing a lot of this in your counseling rooms, finances being a pressure point for many married couples?
Yes, and a lot of divorce cases that I've encountered was largely due to financial considerations. I realized that for most of them, they didn't have these financial discussions before they got married. And so they had the rudest shock of their lives when life happened.
Okay, let me ask Musiliya here. Did you speak about money before you got married?
No. Most young ladies go in for love, but love doesn't pay bills. It's stability, responsibility, purpose. When you are not working, you just jump into marriage. You won't see the purpose, you won't see the responsibility, you won't see the maturity.
I'm hearing Ibrahim making some very strong sounds here. I want to know what's going through your mind.
Someone may have money, but then not responsible. And someone may be responsible and not having that amount of money that people are calling money. So we need to be very specific and then explain exactly what they are looking at so that we do not end up mixing the whole thing up.
So, Maureen, you were asked a question. Be specific. When you say you want somebody to be financially stable, do you want Aliko Dangote or what are you looking for exactly?
I'm not looking for someone who is as rich as Aliko Dangote, but at least I'm looking for someone who can, cater for the basic needs in a home, which is shelter, food, water, like the basic things you need in the house.
Okay, Reverend Kwame, I see you. I'm coming back to you. But I have to come back to you, Benjamin, here, because I'm hearing the women here, which is very shocking for me, saying that they want to be taken care of by men. But are we not in a modern society where we say 50-50?
In this part of our world, what she mostly looks for is, can this man really take care of me? Can this man take care of the basic necessities of the house?
So your argument here is that women are getting married to become financially stable because that's their gateway into wealth.
Social media has really influenced most of our women. They have the mentality that aside the love, you have to take control of most of the spendings in the house. So if you go in and within a few days they realize you're not financially stable, as they say, they would want to leave.
Reverend Kwame, what does culture say about marriage and wealth?
When you look at the traditional family vow, it's a mixture of two things. They said marriage is for better and for what? For worse. It is for richer and for poorer.
Please, let me pause there because my sister here, Maureen, is saying for better, for worse. But you've said for worse, you're not interested in that.
Maryam said the same thing. Maryam said that when the husband loses his job...
That was not my point.
Excuse me, please, let's allow Maryam to respond.
Okay. She asked whether if my husband was not having anything doing, would I have allowed him to marry me?
Okay.
That was why I said no.
Okay.
Marriage is not social media reels. Yeah. It is not what you see in social media that you are going to see in your husband's house. Exactly. You will not wake up and he will come and stand on your bed and ask you, baby, what are you eating? What do you want? You have to wake up and prepare breakfast, then you both eat together, then you go to work. And if you are waiting for only one person to do the dirty job and then you just enjoy it, that's when you get the problems. So in as much as there can be like the man is supposed to take care of you financially, you have to have a realistic way of spending the money that he's going to give you to.
I love that. Have a realistic way of spending the money. Rev, let me get your response on this.
If the man is providing, you need to take a good cognizance of what the man is providing. I always want to tell people that marriage will succeed when the relationship, the dating time, was effective. But if you don't put things on the table and then you just leave your marriage anyhow, it is at that time when people are going to be disappointed.
All right, let me just invite the people at the back to give me their viewpoints. How many of you will say, you know what, I'm going to build the relationship and the wealth with my partner?
As a man, I'm the one supposed to take the responsibilities of the woman I'm bringing in. So if I can't pay her bills, clothe her, feed her, there's no need for me to get married. But the woman too can also, in her own way, support the marriage so that we can grow together.
Okay, let me hear from you as well, because you raised your hand.
If you want to get into marriage, the first thing that you have to consider as a man is your strengths. Can you take care of the lady that you want to marry? The life that you are going to live is not a time that is having an expiring date.
So, because I'm hearing so many men saying, you know, I want to get married once I can take care of my wife. Teresa, I'm asking, so what then are women and wives expected to give in return? And does that set a trap for women?
We have to work to support them. We shouldn't wait to let them go out, go and work, and be sitting in the house waiting for them. I wouldn't be so emotional and be crying, waiting for him to, you know, come home and pay this and that. I wouldn't be doing that. If I was working for myself as at now, I would have been able to, you know, support them and just leave him and just be my way.
So because Musiliya here was really nodding and agreeing with you, I want to find out what your experience was, because you told me that your ex-husband was very wealthy and you were doing most of the housework. How did that work out for you? Was there a balance?
No, because some marriages, one will do his or her part, one will not do. That is the unexpected. The unexpected are many. Not only love was the reason that brought you together, but love doesn't pay bills. So when you enter, the man changes. Then you won't be stranded in the marriage. You can be stranded.
All right, let me get Papa's comment here, because, hey, you were actually bouncing on your feet. That is how serious this is getting. Let me hear from you.
If you go into a marriage looking for someone to come and salvage you financially, that is where the problem is. You must enter marriage with a mentality that marriage is 100% contributions from each of us. I know that culturally the man is supposed to be the one to take care of the home. And it's basically as a result of history. Men were the ones who were hunting and all that, bringing food home. But you see, times are changing. And both partners have to pull their resources together. Yeah. Basically, what it means is that I'm bringing 100% to the table. You're also bringing 100% to the table. If we do it 50-50 and I bring 50% to the table, or you bring 50% to the table and something happens to me, what happens to your 50? All right, so both of us must, it basically has to do with perspective. Are we looking for a partnership or we are looking for pampering?
It sounds to me like the men feel like they are paying for something and therefore they become absent in other ways, emotionally, as we've heard sometimes. Is that the case based on the people that you're ministering to? Men
are supposed to pay the dowry. And so in some cultures and some ethnic groups, the amount and things they would demand from you, it is like the woman is being sold to the man. Yeah. And therefore, when the man gets hold of the woman, he feels he has paid a lot for him to do domestic chores to support the woman. And on the other hand, the woman also see that I was there, that you came and married me. So I'm just like your baby. Take care of me.
Maryam, are you Ibrahim's baby, as Reverend here is describing?
No, I am not his baby. He takes care of the financial responsibility, but that does not stop him from helping me to do the domestic chores. He will give me monthly allowance though, but he doesn't say because I've given you your monthly allowance, you are supposed to do all the chores, cook, sweep, mop, then come and do the washing and everything, and then he'll be there. If he is free, he's not doing anything, he helps. I am not his baby. We are married and then we are growing together.
Okay, Maureen, I think you are very tickled by what Maryam here was saying.
I think what she said is right, in the sense that you are going there to do something, but the fact that you are giving me money, we are all putting something in the marriage one way or the other, whether your emotions, your resources, one way or the other, you are putting something in there, and that doesn't mean you should overburden one person in the marriage.
But what Reverend was saying here is that a modern woman such as yourself expects the husband to provide financially, but you also want him to contribute in the domestic home.
If I'm expecting him to contribute or in the domestic parts or the domestic responsibilities in the home, then in that case, I'm also going to share the responsibility when it comes to the financial part with him.
And this is what you are not doing. And this is the conflict. You understand that? The career woman has defined marriage in a nice way. They've learned a lot of things. So that in the traditional home where the man was the sole breadwinner and the woman is basically into domestication, right? You cook, you wash, you do all these things, you cater for the children. Now it is turning. It is turning in the sense that the women are really schooling, they are really learning. And so they think they've come at par with the men. They still want the men to take their traditional responsibility, put the money there, come and do my work for me, come and do babysitting.
What do you mean my work? The baby is ours.
I'm talking about mutuality. Okay. So for example, if I'm a teacher and you're a teacher, and we both earn the same salary, whose money should cater for the home? The two of us. Yeah. It shouldn't be my money should be 70% and yours to be 10%. But in our part of the world, what the women are saying, when you ask them for money, they will say, I came to help. And helping in the sense that they have to give a little.
Okay. Teresa here is...
So to me, I wouldn't wait for my husband to come home and come and meet an empty table. That is me. I would rather use my own money without taking money from you. You will come home and come and eat. So I think it's our money, and marriage is us. It's an individual, it's personal. Marriage is personal.
Okay, Musiliya.
What Reverend is saying, is mostly about character, not about the woman being career woman, being educated. Our nature, a woman nature, is multitasked. A woman can go to work and come and still take good care of her home.
Okay. Let me hear from Benjamin first.
She mentioned something that her husband wasn't providing, and she will use her money. So in that case, is the money hers alone? Because as of then, her husband wasn't working, and she comes in as a helper. But she mentioned something but she will use her money to cook for the house. That's a wrong notion.
So according to you, what should it be?
A marriage is a union. You become one with the person. So you support his shortfalls.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm coming.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, relax, chill, right? So no, chill. I'm coming. If you are in a marriage, and then your wife does this or that, and she's not around, come on, man, be wise. You don't need to wait. Maybe if she has to come back later in the evening, for her to come and still work on those things, this is unfair. And then if your husband gives you money or whatever, an allowance dependent, and there are days he's unable to provide, should you fight him? No, right? So people should be able to cover for each other to some extent. Okay. What I don't advise you to cover is when it comes to abuse.
The question of abuse. I mean, how easy is it? And let me ask you, Papa, here, because you're always doing counseling, for money to be conflated with power, ownership.
If you go into the marriage thinking that your money is your money, I will also feel that I also feel entitled to my own money. And once I'm the one who provides for the house, I will feel this sense of entitlement that I'm supposed to control the home. Yeah. All right. But you see, I tell women that times are changing. The world is becoming more egalitarian, and we need to pull our resources together. Those days where we used to say that, well, a man's money is our money and a woman's money is her money, times are changing. And we need to fix it, get it fixed.
All right. I want to get to the people at the back. But before I do, Musiliya, I really have to ask you this question. Because you told me that your ex-husband, because he was providing for everything, the kind of domestic labor he made you do was a little unkind.
If the man is 200% financially providing for you, sometimes abuse comes in. Because you don't have much say, especially where we comes from. If he provides everything, he thinks he owns you. So what he says it's final. You don't have contribution to it because you don't contribute money, because money is the things, is everything. So you are subjected to what he will say.
Heard you loud and clear. Let me hear from the people at the back. You had raised your hand earlier. I have not forgotten you.
Why are you always wanted to enjoy the better part but not the worst parts? This is the case whereby you are dependent on the man fully, and then anything or everything concerning your social, anything that you wanted him to take in charge of it. But don't forget, he's a human being. As times goes on, he might get tired of how he's spending on you. So why not, at the moment that he be giving you money, you be saving some of the money, then you use it for your other needs. My sister made mention of if the person is taking fully care of you 100%, that is where the abuse comes, because he sees it as he is the one providing you. You have nothing to do for yourself. I will always encourage ladies that kind of attitude or kind of behavior, they should stop it.
Okay.
Because normally they buy the abusive behavior of the man on them. Because after all, without him, she can't survive.
That sounds like victim blaming. I'm not so sure I like that. But let's hear from some other women. Let's hear from some other women back here. So, are you demanding too much from men? Is that what we're hearing? Tell me.
I don't think that's true.
So what do you think? You think that what the women are demanding, take care of me, take care of the home, that's reasonable?
It's compulsory for the men to do that because that's their job.
All right. Yeah.
To me, it's not compulsory. As a lady, you have to have value of yourself. It's not everything that you have to be demanding that your husband should do for you. No matter the worldly your husband is having, as a lady, for you to have value on yourself or for your husband to respect you, you have to find a way to be working for your own self, to be getting your own money. Either your husband gives you money or not, you can also get your money to buy other things that you want to buy.
So, as we wrap up this debate, because we have really been talking for a while now, I want to hear some resolutions from the panel here. And I want to start with you, Reverend, because you already said that marriage perhaps should be taught as a subject in formal education.
Yes, I think that many people step into marriage with a lot of misconceptions. Because if you listen to all that the women are saying about it is the responsibility of the man to take full control of the home, that's perfectly right, because universally a man is supposed to take control. But just like Papa said, the world is changing and evolving. We have come into a point where some women, highly educated, receive a good salary than their husbands. And yet, when they come home, they want their husbands to take everything. We train men to take care of women. We don't train our women to support their husbands. And this is the reason why I'm saying that marriage education should start from primary school, so that by the time a lady steps into marriage, they have to understand that marriage is a mixture of two things. Okay. At one time it is better, another time it is worse.
All right, so we are in modern times. We need to update our thinking. But Maureen, you still want him to provide? Is that the resolution for you?
Then he still has to provide, and I will support in the sense that, let me say we want to pay for something that's worth 10,000 Ghana cedis. His money is 50,000. I will have to add the remaining 50,000.
Okay, so I think you've changed your mind. Now you're 50-50. Now you're 50-50. Teresa, what's the resolution here? Is it 50-50, or are you saying, you know what, the man needs to provide, and if you don't have the money, don't even bother getting married?
50-50. I support with the 50-50.
Okay, so actually, Teresa is getting married again. Congratulations. Look at her blushing. Congratulations. So in this case, do you think the marriage is going to be different because of your financial situation?
Yes, please. It will, because right now I'm not waiting for my husband to come and pay all the bills at home, because right now I'm working. I have 2 shops right now. Working. I'm working. So if I go to him and he's not giving me, I go into my account and take it out and do it.
Okay. What about for you, Musiliya? If you do decide to get married again, is money something that you will put at the top, or is it something that you won't really consider?
No, I won't put money at the top. But what I will consider is, I'm working, but he should still take care of me. My money is a security for me. And also, it's a buffer for the family. Okay. In case of unexpected happens, I chip in.
All right. So we started this debate with Maryam. I'd like to conclude it with her. In the beginning, I asked you if you would have married Ibrahim if he had not had money, and you said no. But what happens if, bad luck, he loses his income? Would you still stay with him?
I will. Love, I will define as something that you do, no matter what you do to make your partner feel comfortable, not leaving him behind. So if he fall off, I'll pick him up, then we go together.
Okay, so because of the interest of time, we do have to wrap up this debate, but we asked what seemed like a really simple question in the beginning. Wait until you are financially stable to get married, or get married and build a wealth in the end? Well, the answer is more confusing for me than when we started, but I can tell you I have been very surprised by the views here. I hope you have as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.